I started dating Sarah and thought I'd hit the jackpot. She's smart, funny, and gorgeous. We've been together about a year, and everything seemed great. But recently, I found out about her imaginary friend, Tom, and it's made things complicated. At first, I assumed it was a joke when she'd say things like, Tom thinks we should get Chinese food, or Tom says you're funny. I thought Tom was just a silly, quirky inside joke. I found it kind of charming initially, assuming it was just a harmless habit. But then she started bringing Tom up in more serious conversations. Once, during an argument, she said, Tom thinks you're overreacting. I felt blindsided, like I wasn't just debating with my girlfriend, but also with her imaginary friend. Finally, I asked if Tom could maybe sit out our conversations. Sarah looked heartbroken and said Tom had been her rock for years. Now she's barely talking to me, and it even feels like Tom is upset with me too. It sounds strange, but that's how it feels. Now I'm questioning if I was too harsh. Am I in the wrong for wanting her to set boundaries with Tom, or do I need to make peace with this invisible third wheel? Any advice would be appreciated as I try to make sense of it. Update: Tom's origin story, and it's weirder than expected. Thanks for all the feedback. Between the give Tom a girlfriend and charge him rent suggestions, I knew I had to finally have the talk with Sarah about Tom. So we sat down, and I tried to bring it up gently. I explained how Tom's presence in our relationship felt a bit overwhelming. I told her I loved her, but that Tom seemed to be coming between us. She laughed at first, like it was no big deal, but then she got serious. She looked me straight in the eye and said, I think it's time I told you the truth about Tom. I was bracing for a confession that he was just a goofy habit she picked up as a kid, but no. She took a deep breath and told me that Tom was actually her boyfriend back in high school. Yep, you read that right. She explained that Tom wasn't just an imaginary friend, he was her idealized boyfriend during her teenage years. Back then, she said, real boys were just disappointments. So she created Tom as the perfect guy who'd always support her and have her back. Tom was funny, caring, and kind. The ideal boyfriend she couldn't find in real life. Even after she started dating real people, Tom just stuck around. Now I'm sitting there trying to process all of this. It's like I'm in a love triangle with her perfect boyfriend from high school, who, by the way, is imaginary. She assured me it's not like that now. She doesn't view him romantically anymore, but it's hard not to feel like I'm competing with this fantasy guy who's too good to be true. Every time I hear her whisper, thanks, Tom, it's a reminder. Sarah promised that Tom isn't taking my place and agreed not to bring him up in serious talks. She says he's more of a comfort mechanism than anything else, something she never let go of from her younger years. I want to be supportive. At this point, I'm not sure what to do next. Part of me thinks I should just try to make peace with Tom and maybe find a way to coexist with him in our relationship, but I also feel like I'm always competing with a memory. So, yeah, it's complicated, and I have no idea how this is going to play out, but I want her to feel safe and happy, so I'm willing to work through it, even if it means dealing with an imaginary rival.